What is going on, everyone? My name is Tom from Dreadlabs, and today we're going to continue on our clothing brand.
Dreadlabs.
Alright, so things are a little bit on delay now, but I'll give you a quick update on what I have going on in the back. So I've been reaching out to a local supplier of ecological friendly blanks. The brand for the blanks is called Stanley Stella, and they're very much known for sustainability in terms of supplying blanks. They only work with a handful of suppliers in each country. Luckily, I live in a city where we had a supplier for those, and I went to the showroom there. I wasn't able to film it, sadly, but I ordered a couple of blank t-shirts with a label print in them. When this will be fulfilled, I will do a full video on how this worked and how the full process of this was, to give you guys a little bit of insight on how to approach a supplier, what to look for, what to ask for when getting in touch with them. And the idea is to see if we can do some custom screen prints in the near future. So yeah, we're probably gonna hop on to screen printing somewhere later this year. It really depends because we have a lot of stuff going on in the back right now. Anyways, in the meantime, I would like to focus on something else because I wanted to put out t-shirts, you know? I wanted to put out something. And the cool part is that I worked on this design the other day. I felt a little bit inspired and I tried to revamp the mech suit a little bit. And because I was planning on doing this with DTG printing, I went for a full color design. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll show you the design in a minute. And if you're watching this on Patreon, you'll be able to see the full time-lapse and process video of this, as well as getting the project files ready for it, just to give you a little bit of an insight on how this was made. Anyways, today I want to find out how to actually, you know, see where the placement of the design will be on the t-shirts or on the hoodies or whatever. So we kind of did that already in a past episode, but we're gonna do it again. Alright, so this is the final design and I really like how this turned out. It's been like super detailed with all the colors and everything. Alright, so in the past episode we did like this Illustrator thing, testing out on how it would look on a t-shirt, but what I wanted to do now is get a mock-up pack or a t-shirt or something, see what it would look like on a t-shirt. Let's just make a new document. I have this folder with like a ton of resources that I've been collecting over the years, and one of them is like some blank t-shirts and blank hoodies and stuff. So let me just drag all of those in. I want to go with a black hoodie or a black t-shirt, as it will probably look a little bit better with the black background, as you can see here. So what I want to do is just duplicate this design and just rasterize it, just to make it easier for ourselves, or maybe just convert it to a smart object. Just so we are able to resize it and then like scale it down or scale it back up properly. So yeah, this just looks really tight already. This is the front. Let me just go and make these a little bit lighter so you can see where it's printed on. Might also be really cool on this like washed out black. So might have to look into that if that's possible or not. Maybe even what we can do is see if we can try to have this t-shirt maybe acid washed or something. Might be really cool as well. But yeah, that's obviously limited when you are doing print on demand, so we might have to do customs. Anyways, so the first thing we want to do if we want to have this like blend in with the t-shirt, the thing is that it doesn't have any wrinkles. So let me just see if I can find another one. So this one has like many wrinkles, as you can see, and if you've seen my displacement map tutorial, you probably already know where this is going. If you don't know how displacement maps work, basically based on the dark and light values, it will move your artwork around, which will cause your artwork to move with these wrinkles on your t-shirt. So what I want to do first is go and give this a 50% gray background, so like this. And that's because 50% gray is the middle, and that's where the displacement map won't recognize any movements. Now I want to duplicate this whole thing to a new document. Call it displacement map. We'll save this up as a PSD. Okay, what we want to do first is I'm just gonna go and flatten all of the t-shirt layers, so we have just the t-shirt. The more contrast there will be in this, the more this design will move around. So let me just go and let it be saved so I can just show you what it will look like here. Alright, so we'll drag the design onto this vintage t-shirt on the back. As you can see, it already used the overlays here and you can already see the shadows here. So I'm just going to remove those for now. And I just want to show you what happens with the design. So we're going to go to filter, distort, displace. And we'll leave this at 10 for now. And we're going to go load in the displacement map that we just made. So as you can see, these, like, the design starts distorting a little bit. The more we like enter in these values, the more it will distort. Like, this is literally how many, the maximum pixels it will distort. So if we do 50, this will be distorted even further. But as you can see, it looks a little bit like grungy, and that's not really what we're going for, you know? We want to have this move with the wrinkles. So the reason why it's happening is if we zoom in, there are like a lot of different pixels, and there's a lot like different colors in here, like light, in terms of light and darkness. That's fine because that's what we want, but it's like there's too much of a difference here. So we're gonna go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and with just a blur of 2 pixels, maybe 2.5. As you can see, this is now a little bit like blurred out. As you can see, there's just like a lot of, it's smoothed out, as you can see. Now we can maybe add a little bit of contrast to our t-shirt, not to the background. Like this. So as you can see, the light values are lighter now and the dark values are darker. So let's just save this up. And let's do this one more time. So filter, distort, displace. And we'll just go with 15 pixels for now, because 50 was a little bit too much. And as you can see, it's like smoothed out now, you know? It's not that grungy anymore, because we like removed a lot of the detail from the pixels of the t-shirt here, which is actually what we want. So now if we use the overlays, you can see that it actually moved along with the wrinkles of the t-shirt, which is really nice. That's what we want, basically. But yeah, if we open the overlays here, you have the highlights and the shadows. And with the highlights, I think it's a little bit too much, so maybe we just like lower the opacity on that a little bit, like that. And it also like kind of washes out the design a little bit, which is fine because it's a vintage t-shirt. But let's just say we want to have like a normal t-shirt. So what we can do then is, let's just move this to the top. And I want to show you how this would work if we just had a image of a t-shirt. So we literally have like an image of a t-shirt right now. This is not grouped with highlights or anything. And we have our displaced thing, t-shirt, sorry. As it moves along with the wrinkles, but the colors are like still there, like too digital looking, right? So if we double click this, and for the underlying layer, we'll just move this thing along. And what this does, as you can see, it literally lets all the darker parts of the t-shirt like blend in with the top design. And this is a little bit harsh, but if you hold Alt or Option on your keyboard, you can split these two like arrows. So you want to have the first one just like sitting at the left, and the other one just like subtly moved here somewhere. So you can see the shadow here a little bit, you know? And if you want to, you can also do this with the highlights, but as this t-shirt is dark, this will only start doing this like in this part or something like that. So what you can do is you can just go and remove the lighter parts of your design if you wanted to make it a little bit come through, but I generally don't really do that. Anyway, so now we see what this looks like on a t-shirt if it's printed on like a vintage t-shirt. So that's really nice. Looking at this, I think I would move it a little bit further up, like this. And let me just do the displacement one more time. Yeah, this is basically what I was going for. I'm not really sure if I wanted to have the back or the front, but now that I look at it, I would really prefer the back. One thing that you have to keep in mind when you do printing on demand or DTG printing is that you have a limit in size. And I think the size limit is either 30 centimeters in width and height or 25. So that's fairly small. I reckon this would be around 40 centimeters or something like that. So we might have to just like make it a little bit smaller just to have it work out with like how it would actually look on a t-shirt. So you would probably have something like this. And now that I look at it, it's maybe a little bit too small for a back print. You know, like I like these really large back prints a lot. So going back to this t-shirt here, if we would go and make it a little bit smaller here, this is what it would look like on the front. And you can just have it like, I don't know, maybe like 10 centimeters or 5 centimeters from the neckline top here. And that's basically it, I think. So yeah, looking at these, I think I might prefer having the design on the back still. We might want to do like a front design to make it like a little bit cooler to look at the front, or maybe like even an embroidery or something. But I'm thinking doing something like that would fit in with this vintage design. So I guess we can go and dive into that while we get this thing ready. So yeah, roll a time lapse and I'll see you after it. Alright guys, so you saw the time lapse for the front print design. I put it up on the mockup here. And the first thing that comes to notice is that the colors aren't matching up. If you look at it, you know, these are on the back print. I really prefer those because they tend to be a little bit more yellow. So let's see what we can do about that on the front print here. Maybe just a simple U would fix this issue. Alright, so I'm gonna just do it separately. So instead of master, I'm gonna go to the greens, and I think, or maybe it sees it as yellow. Yeah, I think it sees it as a yellow. So maybe if we go to the yellows, yeah, right. So let's move this a little bit more to the yellow greenish color that it's on the back print here. And if we turn off the preview, yeah, that's supposed to be a little bit better. Maybe slide it a little bit more onto the green part, so we grab everything from the lightning and everything, and remove a little bit of the reddish part here, like that. All right, so and then for the same, we'll go for the blue, I think, or the purple part should be a little bit more bluish, I think, like that, as well as the magenta back part. It doesn't really come back here, so I like that when I did the 3D render, but it doesn't really fit the rest of the design. So let's see if we can fix that as well, make it like the same kind of blue, maybe like a little bit darker. Alright, so if we turn off the preview and turn it on again, now it matches up a little bit. I want to tweak this yellow part a little bit more. I feel like this should be fine now. The only thing is that if you look at the lightning here, it starts to get a little bit of reddish, and I can't really see that back that much in here, maybe in the edges of the title here, but I kind of want to get rid of that. So let's see if we can do that. So I think this is occurring here. Right, so I think, yeah, now if we remove this part here. All right, good. So yeah, I feel like these designs are good to go. The only thing is that the lighter parts here, the white, I feel like they should be more of a like yellowish glow. So let's see if we can still do something about that first. Probably should have done it first before I did it, but yeah, doesn't really matter, I guess. So let's leave the ink lab for now. And for this part, let me just see if I can select a color range. Right, so I feel like I have the outline now, and I want to leave it out from like the text highlights. So let's just make this like red so we actually see what we have here. And I can just kind of paint over the text here because we don't really need that. Yeah, looking at this, like it used to be white like this. So let's see if we can make it a little bit more like Dreadlabs-y, I guess. So yeah, this looks fine, I guess. Maybe if we go into this layer here and if we make it a little bit lighter, it will extend a little bit more like this. Yeah, have it like extend all the way up. And then I'm just gonna do another color overlay. Make this invisible and just paint where we want it to be. So like for example here. And just put this blend mode to color. Yeah, this should do it. As you can see, now we remove this like too much whiteness over here. Maybe we can even just leave this out now. Oh no, kind of ruins this part, right? So I have to do this a little bit more carefully. These smaller ones don't really matter to me too much. Yeah, this makes it too drastic in my opinion. Maybe let me just ink lab it first before we like do any judgment about this, but I think it will be too much. But maybe like ink lab makes it so like over drastically so that we actually end up liking it. So yeah, let's just run it. Okay, so now do one where this bottom one is removed, and we'll compare the two. Actually, a lot of difference in color between these two, which is odd. I kind of want to get rid of the like overly glared area, so but I do prefer this glow over this one, I think. No, I actually do prefer this one. All right. So let me just go back into here. Give this thing a black background. And see if we can mask some of these like glares out a little bit. Yeah, okay, I do like this way better. I'll fix the colors still, but you know, these like washing, fading glows at the sides, I don't really like them. And now you just have the glares like that are very apparent, and the background will just be taken over by the lightning. So that's really cool. One more thing I would like to change now looking at it, I might want to give this guy an outline. Do I though? No, I don't really want it. All right. So yeah, making this into a smart object now. Moving it into this design, and we'll easily fix the U by just going in here. All right, now looking at it, might need to be a little bit like more greenish. So let's go into the yellows here. Alright, I'm very happy with these. Right guys, so this is probably the first drop that we are going to do. Really happy with the result. Looking at the time, I think I will do just a full-on episode on how to set up a WordPress website and then dive into Printful, which is the service that I mainly use to do printing on demand and DTG printed t-shirts. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was really I had a ton of fun creating these new designs, and I'm really happy with how they came out. Can't wait to see them on an actual physical t-shirt, so yeah, really curious about how this will look and how it will be done. If you want to get the project files for these designs yourself, you can get them by becoming a patron. So if you become a patron of mine, you'll get access to all of the project files from my tutorials. You'll get a 15% discount in my asset web store, as well as a Discord role. Going one tier up, you'll actually get access to all of the episodes full on from the Starting a Clothing Brand series. You have the opportunity to ask me for feedback on your own personal brand. And on top of all of that, you'll also get access to all of the project files from the Starting a Clothing Brand series, which include a lot of cheat sheets and project files for designs. Right, so if you want to become a patron, there will be a link in the description. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, or you can join us on Discord. And with all of that being said, this was Tom from Dreadlabs tuning out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.